Let's start with the table toppers because, geez, what a season they have had. I am talking about GT, which in Hindi is GT is it won, right? That's what it is, GT. It won, and they won 10 out of 14. If they had won one more, this would have been a record, right? It would have, I think, it would have been a record with 11. But this is fantastic. They take this. Look at it. They got 413 runs from Hardik. They got 18 wickets from Rashid. These were their 2 draft picks at most expensive. They retained them at top tier. They were both tied at 15 crores. They both got that. And look at it. They formed the crux of that team. I feel, Harsha, they've not just formed the crux of the team in terms of their performances. I feel they formed the crux of the team in terms of mentality, outlook, temperament.
If you want in a snapshot to see what Gujarat Titans this year, take a look at that graphic again and see what is the quantum of runs that the highest run scorer has made and the number of wickets that the highest wicket taker has taken. And they're nowhere near the top. It tells you that there wasn't one dominant person.
True.
The leading run scorer made 413 and they won 10 games. No one's got 600 there. No one's got 500 there. No one's got 450 plus. 413. No one's got 25 wickets. 18. This team was about everybody joining in and the sum of the parts just turning out to be something else. If anybody tells you that they thought Gujarat Titans are going to finish on top, give them a lie detector test and they will fail before it is administered to them. Nobody.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to finish in the top 4 because I thought their batting will capsize very early into the tournament.
Yeah.
But see what happened with their batting. One day Saha scores, suddenly Miller comes back into form, Rashid Khan swings his bat, Tewatia does something. Hardik's role cannot be underestimated. He batted at 4 and held the side in those early games. When Abhinav Manohar comes and hits, wins you a couple of games with late order hitting. Shubman has one patch in between. But that team put together scored enough runs for an outstanding bowling side to take them through.
There you go. I think that was the thing, right? Even at the auction, Joy, when we were talking and we said that maybe their batting doesn't scare anybody, right? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe there's nobody there where you look at and go, God, this wicket, this can change the game. But we always looked at their bowling and said that they had put together a really good bowling side. And that's what is done. Their batting did just enough to make sure that their bowling could just shine like the stars they are.
Absolutely. And not only that, what they got on top of that was that they got man of the matches from everybody. If I remember right, the first 6 man of the matches were from 6 different players. I think all 8 man of the matches, may be totally different. And
I think Shubman got 2, I think.
Shubman got 2, right. I think they got 7 odd man of the matches that they got. The other interesting thing is we talk about acceleration, runs, okay? Their top order has never been great, okay? And their top order always looked wobbly. But in the death overs, 429 runs from those 3 guys, Miller, Tewatia, Rashid, at a strike rate of 180. So what they did get was terrific finishing. Those 3 guys were like the engine room and they were finishing matches for you. And Rashid Khan, you've always talked about since your show with him, Gaurav, that Rashid Khan always fancies himself as a batter.
Yeah,
he loves giving him a pat on the shoulder and said, "Go and do it, son. Hey, you saw it. You think you're a batter? Go and win some matches." He won one match for you with the bat. I mean, how often does that happen?
I mean, not only did he say that, I've seen him in the Big Bash, and Harsha, you've seen him as well. He really enjoys his. We enjoy watching his batting. He enjoys batting like a little kid in a candy store.
Everything he does is a little kid in a candy store. He's not grown up yet. Life has just thrown him too many questions, too many situations, but he's not grown up yet. He's just a sentimental young child who plays better than anybody else on the planet at the skill that he's been given. But every one of those was batting one number above where in a good team they should have batted. Every one of those, whether it was Rashid, whether it was Tewatia, whether it was Miller. And of all the shots I saw in this year's tournament, and I've got a partiality for the drives and the pulls, no shot caught my eye more than Rashid Khan's snake shot.
Snake shot.
You remember that?
Yeah.
We asked him, "Ye kya shot hai?" He said, "That is my snake shot."
Oh, I like that.
And it used to go into the stands.
Yeah.
He's some player. He's some player. I'm telling you, he is some player.
I saw something on, in fact, social media where Virat was talking about how you've got to lean forward to hit that little shot, and then he looks at Rashid and says, "But not him. He's on a crazy planet of his own. He can stay on the back foot and rock this shot, really. But that's the kind of guy Rashid is. We must talk about two things I want to talk before moving on to the next team. One is Shami, who was just fantastic up front. That age, absolutely. I mean, standing ovation. We won't because we're all wearing shorts. But standing ovation to this old warhorse who, in a way, Joy has almost reinvented his game to suit T20 because he got all that criticism a few years back, didn't he? Test bowler. Just look at him.
Absolutely. And I think two things. One is definitely he's remodeled a bit. He's looked at that slower ball. He's added skills that he can bowl in the final overs. Remember, before this, they'd always try and finish Shami off. They say he's really good in the top. But what is big about him was that economy rate. If you go back to that graphic, I think his economy rate has never been below 7. 6.28 is outstanding. And I think handled Shami beautifully. He's given him the start in the attack, and he's told him, you go and do what you have to. And of course, the other guy I want to talk about is his Bengal teammate, Ridhiman Shah. 312 runs. 312 runs. Everybody says that he can't bat. He's a brave, courageous guy, but he can't really, muscle it match after match. I mean, what has he done for them at the strike rate? It's not a really high strike rate, 125. But what he's given them is consistent starts because Matthew Wade didn't come to the party till, still hasn't come to the party if you look at it.
No, hasn't yet.
Yeah, he hasn't yet, but he was fantastic. Pops right up front. And it looked like, Harsha, he went and he was like James Bond. He was given a license to kill, right, by the management or by the support staff.
Yeah, because that's the only way he can play. Yeah. And I think you find with this Gujarat Titan side, everybody was allowed to be himself.
Yeah, nice.
I just thought Hardik Pandya batting 3-4. I said, what is this team going to be? And he goes up at 4 and he plays like a number 4 and he finishes. His strike rate this year is what? 125, 130? A couple of years ago, it was 191. He's playing a different role. At no point did Hardik Pandya look like he was out of place batting at number 4. And he got an 80. If you remember early on, he got an 80. He batted well. But I have just one more point before you go ahead on Shami. I think Shami will also slowly dip into his pocket and give a little bakshish, thank you, to all the groundsmen who prepared outstanding pitches for Shami and Umesh to bowl. Because there was a bit of bounce, there was a bit of grass, suddenly Shami and Umesh won the 2015 World Cup. Shami and Umesh opening the bowling, wow, bouncing the West Indies, and I thought I'd never see that in my lifetime. But that first ball, Shami to KL Rahul, remember that? Right at the start of the tournament. So because of the pitches being what they were, and they are the genuine stars of this IPL, the pitches and the people who made them, Shami and Umesh became outstanding bowlers.
Loved it. And
they always were, but
Yeah, just a quick word on, we were talking about the temperament of the team and just the outlook that they took to the field. And I credited Hardik and Rashid, and that's the kind of setup that they had. We must really talk about Ashish Nehra and the coaching staff, which is, Gary Kirsten and Vikram Solanki and Ashish Kapoor, and just the people that they had over there. They also got somebody like Mithun Minas in their fold, right? Because that's what you need, Joy. And Joy will tell us, because you've been part of a dugout, how important all these pieces become in controlling almost the on-field, off-field narrative of the team, their temperament, their outlook.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I was exchanging messages with the CEO who used to be from Punjab for a very long time, Arvinder.
With Gujarat now, isn't he?
He's in Gujarat now. And he was saying, of course, he comes from Punjab, so that may not be that difficult. He says, this is the happiest side I've ever been around. And I think it shows on the field. It's the happiest side that you can be around. And see, what's happened is, this is also the batch of 2018, the Challengers RCB batch of 2018. If you look at it carefully, this is
all
the
of them.
entire RCB batch of 2018.
All of them. Yep.
And I think whatever they did, they got them together. Obviously, they realized there's some chemistry between these guys that's already established, which is why they hit the ground running. In year one itself, because they're already in sync, it wasn't difficult for them to work well together because some of those equations have already been set. And I think they did a phenomenal job.